Today's topic is extrapyramidal tracts. So these are the example of extrapyramidal tracts: rubrospinal tract, vestibulospinal, reticulospinal, tectospinal, olivospinal, and medial longitudinal fasciculus. First is rubrospinal tract. Origin of this tract from large cell nucleus magnocellularis or red nucleus in the midbrain. Course of this tract: from red nucleus, fiber cross to opposite side in lower part of tegmentum of midbrain and then descend through pons medulla and into up to the lateral funiculus of the spinal cord. Termination occurs on interneurons along with the corticospinal fiber. Functions of this tract: this tract exhibits facilitatory influence on the flexor muscles and inhibitory influence on the extensor muscle of the body. Vestibulospinal tract. There are two tracts, lateral and medial. So first, lateral vestibulospinal tract. Origin of this tract: fiber arise from lateral vestibular nucleus. It is also known as a detritus nucleus, which is present in the pons. Location and course: uncrossed, fibers are uncrossed and lies in anterior funiculus of spinal cord and shifting medially as it descends. Termination of this fiber extend up to caudal segment of the cord and terminate into neurons of ventral gray column, lamina 7 and 8. Through the interneuron, these are projected to the alpha and gamma neuron of lamina 9. Functions are: it concerned with adjustment of postural muscle to linear acceleratory displacement of the body, and it facilitates activity of extensor muscles and inhibits the activity of flexor muscles in association with the maintenance of balance. Medial vestibulospinal. Origin: fibers arise from medial vestibular nucleus. Location and course: this tract descend through anterior funiculus of spinal cord and fibers are mostly uncrossed but some are crossed. Termination: anterior motor neurons directly or through internuncial neuron, lamina 7 and in lamina 8 of cervical segment of the spinal cord. Functions: this tract provides reflex pathway for movement of head, neck and eyes in response to visual and auditory stimuli. Another tract is reticulospinal. Again, there are two tracts, medial and lateral. Medial one is also known as a pontine reticulospinal tract and lateral one medullary reticulospinal tract. So first, medial or pontine reticulospinal tract. Origin of this tract: medial pontine reticular formation. Course: it descends mostly uncrossed in the anterior funiculus of spinal cord. Termination: lamina 7 and 8 of spinal gray matter through internuncial neuron and influence alpha and gamma neurons of lamina 9. Lateral medullary reticulospinal tract. Origin: fibers originated from gigantocellular component of medullary reticular formation. Coarse fibers are mostly uncrossed and few are crossed. Tract descend in lateral funiculus medial to the lateral corticospinal and rubrospinal tract. Termination in the internuncial neuron of lamina 7, 8 and 9. Functions of this tract: reticulospinal. The cortico-reticulospinal tract form additional polysympathetic pathway from motor cortex to spinal cord. It is concerned with control of movements and maintenance of muscle tone, and it also convey autonomic information from higher center to intermediate region of spinal gray matter and regulate respiration, circulation and sweating. Pontine and medullary reticular nuclei mostly function antagonistic to each other. So there are different activity of pontine and medullary reticular nuclei. Pontine reticular nuclei excitatory to anti-gravity muscles, and medullary reticular nuclei inhibitory to anti-gravity muscle. Pontine reticular nuclei facilitate control of voluntary and reflex movement and control of muscle tone through gamma motor neurons. And in medullary reticular nuclei, it inhibits control of voluntary and reflex movement and control of muscle tone through also gamma neurons. It favors expiration, it favors inspiration. Pontine reticular nuclei cause vasoconstriction, medullary cause vasodilatation. Now another extrapyramidal tract is tectospinal tract. Origin is superior colliculi which is present in midbrain. Coarse fiber cross the midline in lower part of tegmentum of midbrain, then descend through pons and medulla, and finally it is terminated in the spinal cord, anterior right funiculus. Termination upper cervical level by synapsing with the anterior horn cell through internuncial neuron which is located in lamina 5 and 7. Functions of this tract. This tract form motor limb of reflex pathway for turning the head and moving the arm in response to visual, hearing, or other exteroceptive stimuli. So this is the pathway, tectospinal tract. Oliospinal. Origin of this tract from the medulla, inferior olivary nucleus. Course and termination. Tract fiber descend and terminate ipsilaterally in anterior horn of spinal cord. Functions, it is not certain. It influences muscle activity and probably involving reflex movements arising from proprioceptors. Medial longitudinal fasciculus, it is another extrapyramidal tract. Origin of this tract, it extends from midbrain downwards. Fibers of this tract take origin from different area of the brainstem, namely vestibular nuclei, reticular formation, superior colliculus, interstitial nucleus of Kegel, nucleus of posterior commissure, and nucleus of darkest switch. Course, MLF in the brainstem, it is closely related to nuclei of 3rd, 4th, 6th, and 12th cranial nerve, and it is also related to 7th and 8th cranial nerve. Anterior segmental tract of spinal cord also involved. Then fiber descend through posterior part of anterior right funiculus, and this tract well defined only in upper cervical segment. But below this level, fiber run along with the fibers of medial vestibulospinal tract. So this is midline tract, medial longitudinal fasciculus. Okay. Termination of this fiber, ventral horn cell. Functions, it ensures the harmonious movement of eyes and neck head in response to vestibular stimulation and auditory stimuli. It facilitates simultaneous movement of the lips, tongue as in speech. Now another group, descending tract ending in the brainstem. Corticonuclear tracts and corticopontocerebellar pathway. Corticonuclear tract, origin, it arises from cerebral cortex along with the corticospinal tract. Course and termination, fiber descend along with the corticospinal fiber, pass through posterior limb of internal capsule, and in the brainstem they cross opposite side at various level and end by synapsing with the cell of cranial nerve nuclei. So it starts from cortex and end in cranial nerve nuclei. That's why it is called corticonuclear tract. Functions are nuclei of cranial nerves that supply skeletal muscle are functionally equivalent to ventral horn cell of the spinal cord, and these are controlled by corticonuclear fibers. Another pathway is corticopontocerebellar pathway. Origin of this fiber arising in cerebral cortex of the frontal, temporal, parietal, and occipital lobes. Course, it descends through corona radiata and internal capsule to reach the crus cerebri, synapse with the pontine nuclei of the same site, and axon of the neuron in pontine nuclei form transverse fiber of the pons. and this fiber cross in midline and pass into middle cerebellar peduncle of the opposite side and reach cerebellar cortex. Okay, it is a part of cerebellum. Functions are this pathway forms anatomical basis for control of cerebellar activity of cerebral cortex. Now summary, descending tracts. As we know that, so two main group, pyramidal and extrapyramidal. Pyramidal tracts, example is corticospinal tract. Function is control of voluntary fine scale movement of the body. Extrapyramidal tracts, rubrospinal, vestibulospinal, reticulospinal, tectospinal, oleospinal, and medial longitudinal fasciculus. Okay. Now just revise the function of extrapyramidal tract. Rubrospinal tract facilitatory influence on flexor muscles and inhibitory influence on the extensor muscle. So this is the function. Vestibulospinal tract functions. Lateral vestibulospinal concerned with the adjustment of postural muscle to linear acceleratory displacement of the body. And medial vestibulospinal, it forms the reflex pathway for movement of head, neck, eyes in response to visual and auditory stimuli. Reticulospinal, polysynaptic pathway from motor cortex to the spinal cord, and it is concerned with the control of movement and maintenance of muscle tone, also convey autonomic information. Tectospinal, reflex pathway for turning the head and moving the arms in response to visual, hearing, and other exteroceptive stimuli. Oleospinal, probably involved in reflex movement arising from proprioceptors. And medial longitudinal fasciculus ensures harmonious movement of the eyes, neck, head in response to vestibular stimulation and auditory stimuli and speech. Thank you.